Welcome to the DeFi Standard, and this is Mickey B. Fresh. Sorry I haven't been around for the past couple days, but I'm back now. So there's a lot of talk going around in the community right now. John Deaton, one of the community members, who is also an attorney, has been asking us to name a bunch of use cases that XRP has, that you're using right now, that Ripple has nothing to do with. And the community really came together, and it was really interesting to see how many different ways you could use these assets. So just using it in any exchange, like on Binance Chain in a collateral deposition, or on Kava, or on the Ledger itself, or on GateHub, or on the Zum app. So David Schwartz did a demo from 2015. He broke out the Ripple wallet. And now this was on, if you didn't get a chance to see it, I definitely suggest you do. It was on Twitch, and it's Ripple X Dev. It was hosted by Matt Hamilton. And there was a reason why he showed this demo. So he took a web-based Ripple wallet from 2015, so that's 6 years old, and he demoed how you're able to go right onto the ledger and interact with its order book and use IOUs as long as you're with a gateway. I don't know if everyone knows this, but the XRP Ledger has a built-in decentralized exchange with an execution order book. Now, it's a DEX, but it also has the order book with an execution engine and a matching engine. So that's one thing that's really unique about the Ledger, and it has not had full capabilities. And his demo was really fascinating for a technology that's 6 years old to be able to just, that's doing basically CeFi and DeFi together in the design. And now he's doing this for a reason. This is a narrative that I see Ripple X building here, because after the FinCEN fine, they had to cut off the Ledger from being used by Ripple Trade and the Ripple Wallet because of the KYC AML. Because if you're with a gateway, the other gateways, they're going to need to know the counterparties, and that's one of the issues. So I think we're going to see in the future a whole regulated ledger. But that doesn't mean that you're going to lose control of your identity or your credentials. You'll still be able to maintain those and still be verified. But I think that's where we're going in the future when we see more apps then get built on Flare and then also on the XRP Ledger, and we could have more of that functionality. So for so many years, the XRP Ledger has been out there. It's been over 8 years now, and to show that type of functionality, that you could trade. You don't need anybody's permission or anything. But yes, you could do it in a hosted wallet, or you could do it in a self-hosted through the XRPL toolkit if you're interested. So I just want to go over here some of the things that I picked up on. Now, this site was just launched. I don't exactly know when it was launched, but it was recent, or like within the last 2-3 months. Now, this is run by the XRP Ledger Foundation. So if you're not aware, there is an XRP Ledger Foundation. And there's Vitae Win, there's some of the community validators that are part of the community, a part of the foundation. And so everyone knows Ripple runs only 6 validator nodes out of 27 in the UNL. So 6 out of 27. Sufficiently decentralized. But lately, I've heard some statements on Twitter and from somebody else in the community that the nodes that handle all the transactions into the ledger were being run by just Ripple. Now, we're going to prove that one very much wrong. So there's 6 enterprise-grade, full history nodes being run right now by the community of the foundation. Let's get down to it. Where is it? Oh, it's this page. There we go. 6 full history nodes in 7 different locations and there's 2,616 connections. Now, as of right now, this is only accepting small businesses, exchanges, institutions, not public yet. They're going to be launching the public valid nodes very soon, but these are the full history ones. So Ripple doesn't even really run the full history ones. Maybe they have one or two, but not six. So these are geographically spread out. So 868,000 XRPs been prevented from scams in just 3 months from XRP forensics. So that's good to see that they're stopping the scams. So 12 scams were stopped here, 16 different transactions. And I found this one interesting. These are all the missing destination tags of people sent to the exchanges. So there's no longer that problem where your XRP goes missing at the exchange. But it goes to show that people still just don't fill it in. Like 300, 200, 472 into CoinSpot, 846 into Crypto.com. So it's just a very interesting site. I would check this out. I'll post the links in the descriptions below. And then I also wanted to go over here to the foundation's website and just go over this with everyone so we know that we're a community here. And yes, XRP can be used by institutions and by banks. But at its core, it's always going to be a public, decentralized network. That's what it is. And it's community driven. So that's what has to have that balance here. And there's nothing wrong that institutions could use too. And if they're going to use a private ledger, it's one other thing I just want to make clear one more time here. It's not going to have, there's no other XRP. There's only XRP. And it would just be private instances of Ripple's nodes, Ripple D nodes. So RippleNet right now, there's private peer nodes in there. It's a private payment network for 3 years, but the transaction still gets sent when they use ODL. And the same would still happen in a private network for CBDCs. It wouldn't be XRP at another price. So that makes no sense. There's one XRP, there's one price, and that private network would just be separated from the XRP ledger. But if it needed to, it still needs to hold the whole current transactions that are going through. So there's going to be some validator nodes that are going to have to overlap there. So, I mean, if Ripple runs them or some other entity, they'll still have to have those ledger closings. They don't need to run the whole history of the ledger, but they need to have that there to stay in sync. All right, let's go into the XRPL Foundation. To foster development on and widespread usage of the XRP Ledger. Values and beliefs. We value our role as an independent organization acting in the best interests of the XRP Ledger. We believe trust is foundational to our mission, and build trust is a slow, steady process. So they're going to be helping out some community projects with grants and with some devs. And they also want to bring diversity into the community. And I think this is really a calling card for us. So I think if you were on Twitter and you saw some of the posts and tweets to John Deaton, I mean, I thought it was inspiring that the community came alive for that moment. I know it's to defend their investment, but we also, I think, should keep going with this because now we have Flare Finance Beta. That's starting now. So get involved if you can. You don't have to take it so seriously, but at least try to get set up. And if you do have any questions about Flare Finance Beta, go to the Discord server for Flare Finance, and they're super nice there, and they will help you if you have any questions with anything. And then once you're up and running and you get through the faucets, then you're going to have fun. It is fun playing around with the DeFi. I mean, that it's not real money right now. But it gives us an idea of how to get used to the interface, how it's going to work. So it's not going to be just completely foreign to us who had never used DeFi before. You know, there are people in the community who's used Uniswap, who have used Binance Smart Chain, but not everyone or Kava has used MetaMask. So that's something to get used to. I don't think we're going to have MetaMask on Flare, but it's still a Web3 wallet. And what's nice is you don't have to actually take your private keys out, which is nice. So it just signs for you right there. I think we're going to get some sort of web monetization ILP wallet that will be able to hold multi-currencies. But Web3 is definitely where it's going, like a browser extension like that. And then that could link to your actual hardware wallet. So now you could have your private keys stayed on your Nano. They don't need to go anywhere. And you could have this web extension plugged into your browser, and your private key is never exposed. So I think that's really, a big value proposition. And you're going to have like 6, 7, 8, 9 different tokens between all the Flare Finance, the F assets, and Spark itself. So that's a lot of different assets in one wallet. You don't got to expose your keys, and you could just keep earning in the best way that you want to. So we're going to discuss that further. I just wanted to go over the XRP Ledger here with the foundation. It's just important to know that Ripple, they're not even handling any of those big servers coming in. So that's dealing with exchanges, market makers, small businesses, apps. So it's good to know that the ledger isn't dependent on Ripple. So you have the validator nodes. They only have 6 of the 27. And then you have the regular nodes that just take in the transactions. And those are full history nodes. Those are very expensive to run, and they're costly maintenance. So they're geographically distributed. This in Europe, San Francisco, Singapore, also in UK, I think it said too. So that's good to see that in case anything ever happened, those are institutional grade. And then we're going to have even more decentralization with Flare coming over, and the UNL that's going to need to connect Flare network to the XRP Ledger. That's going to make the XRP Ledger more decentralized by having those additional nodes and validator nodes. I mean, the validators, there's only going to be 27 unless there's going to be another UNL, but it's really not necessary. The validators are very expensive to run, and you got to be super maintenance with them and secure. So they don't really accept transactions. They just handle the consensus, the validators. Then the nodes, Ripple D nodes, not Ripples, it's just the name of the software. They all run the same software. So it's just those transactions come into the ledger. So basically, nothing is dependent on Ripple right now. Yes, the dev team is a big part of maintaining the XRP Ledger, but it's not just the Ripple dev team. There's a lot of independent devs that go over the codes when they go through amendments. It's not Ripple who signs off on that. It's like the C++ team signs off on a lot of that, and independent developers. So it's good to note, and I think that SEC's case is very weak because there's really no argument that you could say about XRP not being decentralized, not being used right now. The only thing that you could say is the supply. But there's no, they haven't even been selling the whole year. And they've been selling such minimal, when you look at the actual numbers over time, it hasn't affected the price. So there's no set regulations or guidance on how much supply you're supposed to own. So what is it that you're supposed to own? They did the opposite kind of Ethereum, where Ethereum, when they had the ICO, they got rid of 80% and kept 20%, and Ripple did the opposite. And I think Ripple wanted to distribute it faster, but it was difficult to distribute out something that doesn't have any value in the very early days of the crypto market. So I think they were in a tough spot there. And then they built the whole RippleNet thing up. So there's no question that, they took advantage of that in a way. But, it didn't damage the market at all, in my opinion. I don't have any problem with it. They created it, or they were given it from the creators, technically. But I think we're going to see Gensler be confirmed very soon. And I'm still very positive. I think we're going to get settlement. And I think we're at least going to get discussions. And once Gensler gets in there, I'm not saying that he's just going to lay down and give us a slap on the wrist and goodbye. But I think that there's going to be meaningful settlement negotiations, and then we can move on from here. It all depends on the details behind the scenes, and we're going to find out. So it's exciting times. It's getting, the market is just rolling forward. I mean, kind of stinks that XRP is still sitting here, but once this settles, it's going to be just off to the races with this and Flare. Good times ahead. I'm Mickey B. Fresh, and I'm out.